Hello, this is Christoph with Kaisworks presenting Railhaus. I wanted to share some updates to the model we've done since we last spoke. We're looking here at the aerial, and I'm just wanting to point out some solar panels we've added. This is a placeholder, obviously, but we're showing two clusters of solar panels on each roof with two condensing units, one for the second floor, one for the third floor, positioned above where we would most likely be distributing air from the soffit that lives above the kitchen and the bathroom volume. This is our sort of unique unit on this side here that is fashioned to look like a continuation of the sort of checkerboard facade. You'll see that more closely in a minute. Um, this would presumably have solar panels and obviously condensing units on top of it as well. This is our amenity space that we'll see a little bit better in just a minute. And I'm going to cruise us over to the entry. Um, Here we're standing on Paseo de Peralta and looking to the south and to the west slightly. And a few things to point out here. We're proposing, if it is allowable in this district, an open paver with decomposed granite. The effort would be to make this feel as much like a garden as possible on that pedestrian level. We're showing the mural that exists here. This actually wraps this entire building. Simply because this is not on the same property. This may simply be a reality of this entry experience. Whether or not we could grow vines across the base of this and turn this into a big green wall, that would be our preference, I believe. But either way, this actually feels, I think, like a very nice, and it did in the previous scheme as well. This feels like a nice court in the center. And if I can orbit us around here, here we can see alternating units. This one here has the balcony on the street side. This one here has the balcony on the interior court side. And we have this pattern that repeats. And I'm going to take us around to the other side of the building. Here you can see the longest expanse of that continuous pattern. This is really, I think if there's going to be a postcard image of what this project is, it could be this right here. Where you have either hedge or vine. It's probably going to be vine based on size constraints, honestly. I think we can get a trellis that's fairly two-dimensional with vines growing on it. We're showing it here stopping about 3 feet shy of the underbelly to let these units float sort of as individual pixels comprising this larger building that floats above this green hedge. And I'm going to take us now on axis with our primary kind of breezeway here on the two floors. Moving forward in the space, we're on the third floor now and looking down into that shared amenity space. This can take many forms. We've done something here with maybe the primary objective of creating privacy between that realm and the units that are directly across the way. I'm going to just cruise down to the second floor here. And again, the vegetation we're proposing here, these are placeholders, but the idea being that you would have something vegetative so that when people are sitting in here, they're not just sitting outside the front door of these units on the side. And I'm going to take us now to the far end. That is our community space here. Here we have our vine-clad stair tower. This would presumably also contain other utilities on the ground level. And then here we can look back out to that primary vehicular entry on this side over here. And then turning right around. Model's doing some wacky stuff here, but we have our first unit. This reads like a continuation of the cork flooring, but what we're actually proposing is that if this walkway is concrete, this would transition to an integral color concrete that is of the same hue as our cork. And that, again, is to let these units, the individual Kbox units, feel autonomous somewhat from the main circulation space. And then I'll take us now to this unit directly next door. And we haven't dialed in materiality entirely yet, but this is primarily the Kbox palette where we have a cork floor as one of our options. These would be presumably white walls, and this would be a solid surface / Formica millwork piece. I think this entire piece in the center would read as one volume. Here we're in the kitchen area, and then walking further, we walk into the master suite. Here we have our balcony that looks back out And this actually feels quite spacious, I think. And then looking back out to the entry, white oak or a wood is something else that we considered, which I think would add a lot of nice warmth to the space. But the cork, I think you could get away with just having one large body of sort of warmth introduced into these interiors. But we've kind of cruised around and looked at what you see when you're in the interior looking out, even on these units that don't have the forecourt. And I think with drapes coming across or roll shades, this I think will work and provide just enough privacy from the outside world. So we look forward to your thoughts on this. Thank you.